Hello students, welcome back to my channel Mathamaze, and the series which we all know are doing right now is Geometry Made Easy. So in today's session, we all know we are covering lecture 2 of Pythagoras theorem. We have already completed lecture 1, now we are starting with lecture 2 today. Okay, so students, make sure that you watch the video till the end so that you understand all the sums, right? So let us start with lecture 2. We'll be solving sums based on the theorems which we have learned in lecture 1. Those who have not watched my lecture 1, please, it's a suggestion, a request to all of you to watch lecture 1 and then start with lecture 2. So we are starting with practice set 2.1, sum number 7. In triangle DFE, you can clearly see in the figure, angle F is given 90 degree. So we know that in triangle DFE, angle DFE is 90 degree. This is the given information, right? Further, it is given that segment FG is perpendicular to hypotenuse ED. So here, ED is the hypotenuse and segment FG is perpendicular to hypotenuse ED. This information is also given to us. So tell me students, if we have to find out EG, what are we going to do? That is what we have to understand first. There are 3 sub questions we have to find out one by one. So first we are focusing on finding out EG. Now students, tell me, we have a right angle triangle, and from a right angle a perpendicular is drawn to the hypotenuse. So in a right angle triangle, if a perpendicular is drawn from the vertex of the right angle to the hypotenuse, tell me which theorem can we apply here? Yes, very good, theorem of geometric mean. So let us apply here. So we all know the square of the perpendicular. So which is the perpendicular here? FG. So FG square is equal to DG into EG, because product is of the divided parts of the hypotenuse. Is it clear? So reason would be theorem of geometric mean. So now we'll substitute the values so that we get the answer for EG. We know FG is 12, so 12 square is equal to, value of DG is 8 into EG, we have to find it out. So now we know 12 square is 144, or we can write 12 square as 12 into 12. So EG is equal to 12 into 12 upon 8. Because this 8, students, we all know, 8 is multiplied with EG. This 8 is multiplied with EG. If we shift 8 to the left hand side, or to the other side rather, if 8 is shifted to the other side, it would be divided. So 8 is at the division. So 12 into 12 upon 8. Now we can divide 4 2s are 8, 4 3s are 12. Then 2 1s are 2, 2 6s are 12. So we have got the answer for EG. EG is equal to, now tell me students, 6 into 3 is how much? Yes, 6 into 3 is 18. But what 18? Units, because there is no unit given to us in the question. So answer would be 18 units. So this is the answer for EG. This is equation 1, because we'll be using it for further FD and EF to find out. Is it clear? So now students, after finding out EG, let us move on to find out FD. Now here, if you look at FD in the figure, FD belongs to which triangle? Look, of course, do not say triangle DFE. FD belongs to which other right angle triangle? FD belongs to right angle triangle FGD, or DGF we can say. Okay. So here, why are we choosing this right angle triangle? Because first of all, we know that in a right angle triangle we can use Pythagoras theorem. If you see this right angle triangle properly, we know DG, we know FG. So we can find out the third side. So here, we know that angle G is 90 degree. So we'll mention that in triangle FGD, angle FGD is 90 degree given to us. So now we can use Pythagoras theorem. Now Pythagoras theorem, we all know the equation. We have already learned in lecture 1. Now G is 90 degree. So opposite to G is DF. So DF is the hypotenuse. So DF or FD, whatever we can say, FD square is equal to DG square plus FG square. or fg square plus dg square we can say. Is it clear? And the reason for that would be Pythagoras theorem. So now we'll substitute the values. Value of fg is 12, so 12 square, plus gd is 8, so 8 square. 12 square is 144, plus 8 square is 64. Now if you add 144 plus 64, the total comes to 208. So we can say therefore fd square is equal to 208. Now if you take the square root, 208 is not a perfect square. So we can say fd is equal to square root of 208. Reason would be taking square roots, because we have to find out the value for fd. So to find out the value of fd, we are taking the square root of 208. Now students, I want you to factorize 208. I hope all of you know how to factorize 208. You have to check 208 is a multiple of which all numbers. So if you divide 2, you can factorize. I hope you all know the basics of factorization. So if you factorize 208, we can say fd is equal to square root of 16 into 13. Now why we have taken these two factors? Because 16 is a perfect square and 13 is a prime number. You cannot divide it further. So 16 is a perfect square. So 16 and 13 are the two factors for 208. Now if you take the square root of 16, square root of 16 is 4. And square root of 13 you cannot take, so it will remain square root of 13 only. So we can say therefore fd is equal to 4 root 13 units. Did you understand this? We have found out fd. Now students, we know eg, we know fd, we have to find out ef. Now ef belongs to which small right angle triangle? We all know ef belongs to right angle triangle EGF or FGE we can say. So in this triangle, angle G is 90 degree we know. So in triangle FGE, angle FG is 90 degree given. So here also we can use Pythagoras theorem because it is a right angle triangle. So this is angle G 90 degree. So opposite to 90 degree, EF is the hypotenuse. So we can say EF square is equal to EG square plus GF square. Reason Pythagoras theorem. We'll substitute the value. EF we don't know, we have to find it out. EG just now we have found out. Yes, 18 square in the equation 1 we have said. Right, so from 1. FG we know it's 12 square. 18 square is, if you multiply 18 into 18, 18 square is 324 plus 12 square is 144. Now if you add both, EF square we can say is equal to 468. The 468 again, it is not a perfect square. So we have to factorize 468. But students, I want you to remember, in the second sub question, we have got answer in root 13. 4 root 13 if you remember. We have got the value for FD as 4 root 13. So there are quite chances that 468 can also be multiple of 13. So I will request all of you all to factorize with the help of 13 first. So if you factorize 468, we can clearly get the two factors as EF is equal to square root of 468, taking square roots. So EF is equal to square root of 36 into 13. Because 36 is a perfect square and 13 is a prime number. So now if you take the square root of 36, it would be 6 and square root of 13 will remain the same. So EF is equal to 6 root 13 units. So we have got the answer for EF as well. So students, this sum will come for 3 marks, a very simple sum. To find out EG, we have used the theorem of geometric mean. And then to find out FD and EF, in both the cases we have used Pythagoras theorem. So in the first case we have used theorem of geometric mean, and in the second and third we have used Pythagoras theorem. So you should know the concepts which we are using in solving a sum. Got it? Let us move on to the next sum. Practice at 2.1, sum number 6. A very simple sum. Find the side and a perimeter of a square. So first of all, we need a square. We'll name it as PQRS. Now students, we all know it's a square. It's a square means each angle is 90 degree. Moreover, all the sides are equal. Got it? Now here, the second information given is its diagonal is 10 centimeter. Diagonal means we can draw diagonal QS or we can draw diagonal PR. Any one diagonal we can draw. Let us say we are drawing diagonal PR. So we know that diagonal PR is 10 centimeter. Okay. We have already mentioned that quadrilateral PQRS is a square. It's given to us. Now students, we all know what are we supposed to find? We are supposed to find the side of a square. Now students, we all know that all the sides of a square are equal, but we don't know how much is the side. So what will we do is, we'll assume the side to be as x. So each side becomes x. So we can write that let PQ equal to QR equal to RS equal to PS is equal to x centimeter. Did you understand this? We have assumed the value of each side as x. Now we have to find the side. So students, remember, a square is made up of two right angle triangles. Okay, here each side is assumed to be as x because all the sides of a square are equal. Now if you see any one right angle triangle, for example PQR, triangle PQR is a right angle triangle. So we say in triangle PQR, angle PQR is equal to 90 degree. Now why the angle is 90 degree? Because it's an angle of a square, right? So we know it's a right angle triangle, and in a right angle triangle we can definitely use one theorem. Which theorem it is? Yes, Pythagoras theorem. So here we can say if angle Q is 90 degree, then PR is the hypotenuse. So we can write equation PR square is equal to PQ square plus QR square. Reason, Pythagoras theorem. Now we'll substitute the values. PR is 10, so 10 square is equal to PQ is x, so x square plus QR is also x, so x square. So now we can say 2x square, and x we have got the value from equation 1. Okay, so 2x square is equal to 10 square means 100, we can say, right? So now students, remember, if this 2 is multiplied and if we shift this 2 on the other side, it would be divided. So we can say x square is equal to 100 upon 2. Now 100 upon 2 is very clear. 100 upon 2 means 50. So x square is equal to 50. But we are to find the value of x. We have to find side. So we have to find the value for x. So let us take the square root. So therefore x is equal to square root of 50. Now square root of 50. If you factorize 50, 50 can be factorized as 25 twos are. So 25 into 2. Reason, taking square roots. Now here it's very clear, square root of 25 is 5 and square root of 2 will be root 2. So we can say therefore x means side. So we can say therefore side is equal to 5 root 2 centimeter. So we have got the value for side of a square. Yes. Now we have to find the perimeter of a square. So students, tell me, what is the meaning of perimeter first? Yes, we all know perimeter means perfect sum of all the sides. Perimeter means sum of all the sides. Here in square, all the sides are equal. So can we say perimeter of quadrilateral PQRS is equal to 4 into side, because all the sides are equal. So 4 into side. We have got the value for side. So 4 into, what is the value for side? Yes, it's clearly seen on the screen. Side is 5 root 2. So 5 root 2. Now if you multiply 4 into 5, it's 20 root 2. So perimeter of quadrilateral PQRS is 20 root 2 centimeter, we can say. So we have got the answer for side of a square. We have got the answer for perimeter of a square. So students, a very simple sum for 2 marks. Is it clear? Or it may also come for 3 marks as well. Fine. Now let us see this now. Practice set 2.1, sum number 8. What does the question say? Length and breadth of a rectangle. So let us have a rectangle first. We'll name a rectangle as A, B, C, D. Now in a rectangle, each angle is 90 degree. Moreover, in rectangle, opposite sides are equal. Now, what is the further information given? Length and breadth of a rectangle are 35 centimeter and 12 centimeter respectively. So length is 35 centimeter and breadth is 12 centimeter. We have to find the length of its diagonal. Now diagonal, there are two possibilities. We can draw diagonal AC or we can draw diagonal BD. Is it clear to all of you? Either of it we can draw. We can draw diagonal AC or we can draw diagonal BD. So let us say we'll draw diagonal AC. Now due to diagonal AC, we have a right angle triangle now. If you see triangle ABC, it's a right angle triangle with right angle B. So we'll mention that in triangle ABC, angle ABC is equal to 90 degree. Now tell me students, why angle B is 90 degree? Yes, angle B is 90 degree. It is not given. Angle B is 90 degree because it is angle of a rectangle. Don't forget this reason. Now since it's a right angle triangle, we can use Pythagoras theorem. Remember it always, whenever there is a right angle triangle, we can use Pythagoras theorem. So here angle B is 90 degree. So we can say AC is the hypotenuse. So we can say AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. Reason by Pythagoras theorem. Now we'll substitute the value for AB. AB is 35, so 35 square. Plus value for BC 12, 12 square. Now 35 ka square means 35 into 35. So if you multiply it is 1225 and 12 is 144. 12 square is 144, we all know. Now if you add both, we get the value for AC square as 1369. But if you know it very well, 1369 is a perfect square. Yes, so AC is equal to, if you take square root of 1369, it's a perfect square. So square root of 1369 is 37 centimeter, reason taking square roots. So now we have got the value for AC. Now what is AC of the figure? Yes, we know AC of the figure is a diagonal of a rectangle. So we have found out the length of the diagonal. So question was asked, find length of its diagonal. We can say the length of the diagonal of a rectangle is 37 centimeter. Did you understand the sum? Yes, this sum is a very simple sum. It will come for 2 marks. A very easy question. Done? Fine. Now next sum, a very simple, very easy question. But then understanding the figure is very important here. So let us read step by step. Walls of 2 buildings on either side of the street are parallel to each other. Please understand this very well. There is a road or a street, and on either side of the street, that means on both the sides of the street, we have 2 buildings. So their walls are parallel to each other. So let us consider this as a street. Okay? Horizontal line as a street. This AB is a street. So we have one building on A and second building on B. Now both the buildings would be perpendicular, that is but obvious we know. So we say AC represent the wall of the first building, BD represent the wall of the second building, and both the buildings are parallel to each other. Further, what they have said, a ladder 5.8 meter long is placed on the street such that its top reaches the window of a building at the height of 4 meters. So here, students, we don't have to consider the entire building. We just have to consider the information with respect to the question. Now here, there is a ladder on the street, and that ladder is leaning on the first building. First building, a building we can say. Any building we can consider as first. So a ladder is leaning across the first building, and that ladder is reaching the window of the building at a height of 4 meters. So let us say BD is of 4 meters. That means we say D is resembling the position of window. So D is a window. So window is at a height of 4 meters from the ground, right? And how much is the length of the ladder? Ladder is 5.8 meters long. So here we can say ED is the position of ladder which is leaning on wall BD, where D is the window which is at a height of 4 meters. Understood this? Further, on turning the ladder over to the other side of the street, its top touches the window of the other building at a height of 4.2 meters. Now, what are we doing is we are moving the ladder from first building to the second building. But when it reaches the second building, it reaches the window which is at a height of 4.2 meters. So let us say AC is 4.2 meters, where C resembles the position of window on the second building. So now CE resembles the same ladder after turning its position. ED is the position of the ladder initial position, and then CE is the final position. That means C is the second position of the ladder. So ladder remains the same. So length of ladder will not change. It will remain same. So now if you see the figure, we have two right angle triangles in the figure. And since we have two right angle triangles, we'll be using Pythagoras theorem 2 times. It's very clear. And what are we supposed to find in this sum? We have to find the width of the street. Now width of the street means we have to find length of segment AB. Is it clear? So here we say let AB represents the width of the street. So students, we all know this figure resembles something. So we have to mention that what segment or which segment resembles what. We have to mention it in the sum. If you don't mention it, your marks will be deducted. So it's very important to mention it. So first we have said that AB is representing width of the street. Now what is AC representing? AC representing the first building, or BD representing the first building, whatever we can say, okay? AC represents the first building, BD represents the second building. Now you might say, sir, first BD hona chahiye. Aisa koi zarurat nahi hai. They have not said that ladder is placed on the street such that it top reaches the window of a building bola hai. It's not first building, okay? So AC can be the first building, BD can be the second building, okay? So AB is representing width of the street, AC represents first building, BD represents second building. Now what about CE and DE? They are the ladders, but they represents the position of ladders, okay? It was the initial position, then it was the second position. So here what are we going to say? CE and DE are two different positions of the ladder from point E. Got it? So now if you see first triangle CAE. Now in triangle CAE, angle A is 90 degree. So how it is 90 degree, we know it's given. So now since it's a right angle triangle, we can use Pythagoras theorem then. So we know CE is the hypotenuse here. Opposite to right angle, CE is the hypotenuse. So CE square is equal to AC square plus AE square. Reason Pythagoras theorem. We'll substitute the value for CE. CE is 5.8. So 5.8 square is equal to CA is 4.2. So 4.2 square plus AE. We don't know. So AE square will remain as it is. So now students, what we can do is we have to find out AE here. So 4.2 square, if we shift it to the other side, it will become minus 4.2 square. So what we can say is AE square is equal to 5.8 square as it is. This 4.2 square, if we are shifting it to the other side, it will become minus. So minus 4.2 square. Now if you understand algebra properly, this is the formula. A square minus B square What is the formula? A square minus B square. We know A square minus B square is A plus B. That means 5.8 plus 4.2. And second bracket A minus B. 5.8 minus 4.2. So here we have used the formula for A square minus B square as A plus B into A minus B. Now let us add 5.8 plus 4.2. 5.8 plus 4.2, if you add it is 10. Into, bracket means into, 5.8 minus 4.2. If you subtract, it is 1.6. Now 10 into 1.6, if you multiply, we get A square is equal to 16. Now 16 is a perfect square, so we can take the square root easily. So therefore A is equal to 4 meters. Reason, taking square roots. Got it? So we have got the value for AE, students. Now we have to get the value for EB, because this is the second right angle triangle. So let us consider triangle DBE. In triangle DBE, angle DBE is equal to 90 degree given to us. So here also we can use Pythagoras theorem, as rightly we have discussed earlier. DE is the hypotenuse, so DE square is equal to DB square plus EB square. Reason, Pythagoras theorem. DE is 5.8, so 5.8 square is equal to EB, we don't know, plus DB, we know 4 square. Now to find out EB, what will we do is we'll shift this 4 square to the other side. So if we shift 4 square to the other side, it will become minus 4 square. So EB square is equal to 5.8 square minus 4 square. So even here we use the same formula, A square minus B square. So what is A square minus B square? Yes, A square minus B square is A plus B into A minus B. So 5.8 plus 4 into 5.8 minus 4. So now 5.8 plus 4, if you add it, it's 9.8 into 5.8 minus 4 is 1.8. So now students, what we can do to make the calculation much easier rather we can say, we'll avoid getting into decimals. That means we'll remove decimals. So if we remove decimals, we have to make it a fraction. So now 9.8 can be written as 98 upon 10 into 1.8, we can write it as 18 upon 10, right? So now we can say therefore EB square is equal to 98 into 18 upon 100. Perfect. So now don't make one mistake of multiplying 98 into 18, because 98 into 18 will be a very big number. In calculations, we don't have to make the numbers big, but we have to make the numbers small. So what we can do is now, we can write 98 as it is, but we can write 18 as 2 into 9, because 9 is a perfect square. So 18 we can factorize as 2 into 9. Upon 100 will remain same. Why? Because 100 is a perfect square. Got it? So now students, I request all of you to multiply 98 into 2. Multiply 98 into 2. So EB square is equal to 98 into 2. If you multiply, answer is 196 into 9 as it is upon 100 as it is. Now if you see all the three numbers, 196, 9 and 100, all three numbers are perfect square. So now we can take the square root. Therefore, EB is equal to 196 ka square root is 14, 9 ka square root is 3 and 100 ka square root is 10. Reason would be taking square roots. So now if you multiply 14 into 3, we say EB is equal to 42 upon 10. How much is 42 upon 10? Yes. Now we can make it into decimal. So get rid of fraction. So therefore EB is equal to 4.2 meters. If you have to remove 1 0, we have to take one decimal ahead. So 4.2 meters. So now we have got the value for EB. But students, what is the question? The question says, if you see the last part, find the width of the street. And street is nothing but AB. So we have to find out the value for AB. Now if you clearly see the figure, AB is divided into two parts. AE and EB. So if you add both, you will get AB. So we can say AB is equal to AE plus EB. And reason for that would be A dash E dash B, betweenness, right? So therefore AB is equal to 4 plus 4.2. Now 4 plus 4.2, if you add, it is 8.2. So we can say AB is equal to 8.2 meters. Now what is AB representing? Yes, we all know that AB is representing width of the street. So we can say therefore the width of the street is 8.2 meters. Did you understand this sum? Now students, this sum will come for 3 marks. A very simple, a very easy, but very important sum. Okay. Now again, of a same type of directions and everything, we'll do a very simple sum. Let us start with the new sum. Problem set 2, sum number 10. Pranali and Prasad started walking to the east and to the north respectively from the same point and at the same speed. After 2 hours, distance between them was 15√2 kilometers. Find their speed per hour. Now, all in all, if you see students, this sum deals with direction. Because if you go wrong in direction, you will not get any marks. We need to know the directions very well first. So let us say, since the first 2 lines deal with direction east and north, understand the direction. This is the first original point. This direction is north, so downward direction is south. Okay. Now if you hold the map of India in front of you, you know what is north, what is south, where is east and where is west, right? This direction is east and the opposite direction is west. So here in this sum, if you see, Pranali and Prasad are walking to the east and the north. So here we are interested only in 2 directions, that is north and east. Okay. So our figure would be like a right angle. Pranali and Prasad started walking to the east and to the north from the same point. So let us say this point is the origin. Okay, this point is the origin. Both of them, they started walking at the same time from the same point, and the speed also was same. So here this is the north direction and this is the east direction. We know that Pranali is walking to the east and Prasad is walking towards north, because the word respectively gives us an idea. Pranali first hai, Prasad second hai, east first hai, north second hai. So Pranali is walking east and Prasad is walking north. Got it? After 2 hours, distance between them was 15√2. So we can say distance between A and C. This distance after 2 hours is 15√2 kilometers. So question is, find their speed per hour, right? So we all know students, B represents starting point of journey. Both of them, they started from one single point, that is point B. So B represents the starting point of journey. Even here in this sum, students, we have to indicate which segment represents what. Okay. What does BA represent? Yes, we all know BA represents the distance traveled by Prasad towards north. Barabar. Now what is BC representing? Yes, BC is representing distance traveled by Pranali in east direction. Apart from BA and BC, what is AC representing? AC is representing the distance between 2 after 2 hours. Right? After 2 hours, A and C represents the distance between Prasad and Pranali. Now students, it's very clear in this sum, both of them were traveling with the same speed. Since their speed was same, we'll consider the speed of each of them as x kilometers per hour. Right? We don't know how much is the speed. We have to find their speed. So let us consider each of them traveled at a speed of x kilometers per hour. So we have said let the speed of each one of them be x kilometers per hour. Right? Now we all know what is the formula for speed. Speed is equal to distance upon time, right? This is the formula we have learned in physics. Speed is equal to distance upon time. But students, if you see here in maths, what is BA representing? BA is representing distance. What is BC representing? BC is representing distance. And what is AC representing? AC is also representing distance. So here all the three sides of a triangle represent distance. So students, if I ask what is the formula for distance, very clearly we can make out the formula for distance. This time, if you multiply with speed, time, if you multiply with speed, will give you distance. So can we say distance is nothing but speed into time? Distance is nothing but speed into time. So students, we all know both Pranali and Prasad, they traveled at a speed of x kilometers per hour. And both of them, they traveled for 2 hours. Because here it is mentioned after 2 hours. So from B to A, the time taken was 2 hours. From B to C, the time taken was 2 hours. So both Pranali and Prasad traveled for 2 hours with a speed of x kilometers per hour. So if I ask what is the distance, we know formula is speed into time. So speed is x, time is 2. X into 2, 2x. So distance traveled by Prasad and distance traveled by Pranali both will be 2x kilometers. Is it clear to all of you? Perfect. So here we can say distance traveled by each of them after 2 hours is 2x kilometers. So BA is 2x, BC is 2x. Now students, directions are always perpendicular to each other. So if you see this triangle, we can clearly say angle B is 90 degree, right? Given to us, the directions are perpendicular. So if angle B is 90 degree, can we say AC is hypotenuse? So we can use Pythagoras theorem now. So let us use it, AC square, or rather we can say in a reverse way, here as they have taken, AB square plus BC square is equal to AC square. Or vice versa also we can say AC square is equal to AB square plus BC square. But reason for that remains the same, Pythagoras theorem. We'll substitute the value for AB as 2x square, BC as 2x, so 2x square is equal to AC is 15 root 2, so 15 root 2 the whole square. Now 2x the whole square, if you see 2x the whole square means the square of 2 and the square of x as well. So 2 ka square is 4 and x ka square is x square. So it is 4x square plus 4x square is equal to square of 15 is 225 and square root of 2 ka square of square root 2. So square and square root gets nullified, so 225 into 2, right? So now if you add 4x square plus 4x square, it is 8x square. So here we can say 8x square is equal to 225 into 2. Many students, they make a mistake of multiplying both. Don't multiply, keep as it is 225 into 2 because we have to make the number small and not big. Unless and until it is the last answer, do not multiply. Okay, keep it as it is. Now 8 is multiplied, students. 8 is multiplied with x square. If we shift this 8 to the other side, it would be divided. So we can say therefore x square is equal to 225 into 2 divided by 8. Now we can do the calculation. 2 ones are 2 fours are, yes. So x square is equal to, yes, here you can divide 2 ones are 2 fours are. So answer is 225 upon 4. Now 225 and 4 both are perfect squares. So therefore if you take square root, x is equal to square root of 225 is 15 and square root of 4 is 2. Reason taking square roots. So 15 upon 2, if you divide, students, we get the answer as 7.5. So x is 7.5. Now what is x representing? If you remember, we have assumed x as speed. We don't know the speed, so we assume the speed as x kilometers per hour. And we have got the value for x as 7.5. So can we say the speed with each traveled is 7.5 kilometers per hour. Yes, so we have got the speed of both of them. So speed of each one is 7.5 kilometers per hour. So students, this was a very important sum. For it may either come for 3 marks or it may also come for 4 marks, but very simple, very important. You need to mention all the sides resembles what. Clear? So did you understand it? A very easy question. Okay. So now students, I would like to tell you all to take some sums for homework as well. Make a note of it. Problem set 2, sum number 2, sub question 4. Make a note that you have to do this sum on your own. Problem set 2, sum number 2, sub question 4. Okay. Then problem set 2, sum number 2, sub question 5 as well. Problem set 2, sum number 2, sub question 3. And problem set 2, sum number 4. So these are the 4 questions I'm giving you as a homework to you. So request to all of you all, make sure that you do and solve the sums of homework. Got it? So thank you students, thank you for viewing my lecture. We have completed lecture 2. As I keep on telling you, please like the video, share the video as much as possible, and do not forget to tap the bell icon so that you get further updates of my next lecture. Okay, thank you. Good day to all of you. Bye bye. Take care. Stay healthy. Stay safe. Thank you.